Man, it feels like forever since we've been to the House of Ballads. And I kinda forgot what an absolute masterpiece this shit is. The building itself looks almost eldritch. What the fuck is that? It looks like I'm walking into the face of Cthulhu. And I'm definitely down for that. Who hasn't ever wanted to be filleted or swallowed entirely by Cthulhu in their life? That is just, it's a given, right? Every single person in the entire world, everyone I've met, wants to be filleted by Cthulhu. I don't know why I'm saying filleted instead of blown like a normal person, but whatever. Oh, I never returned to the king? Huh. How long ago did I finish that fucking mission? It was quite a while, I think. For some reason I thought he was elsewhere. I have no idea. Where are you? Ah!
But you will not find your beloved Wenson, nor his foolish court of enchantments.
You're just a regular fae again.
You are mine. Dream of me, lovely, for we shall be together soon. The time is coming.
Alright, at least I get to bang the bringer of the apocalypse. What more could I ever possibly fucking want? I did not expect that, though. Is the queen still around? Don't we need the queen? Doesn't the queen fucking slay that bitch? I guess now that makes sense, unless I don't know the tale of the queen slaying the apocalypse bitch. But for now, let's talk to Garland, because he's like the only guy here who might know what the fuck's going on. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. I don't even remember who you are. I don't know why you have so much to say, considering it doesn't seem like you're a sir, so you don't get any time in the ballads. Doesn't seem like you really have any reason to exist beyond being Garland for some reason. How did you even make it into the throne room, you lowly boy? Hello, the White. You're back. I thought you were dead for some reason.
The same cannot be said of the king, nor of the court of enchantments. In my absence, the maid has taken them all.
Where have you been?
That the greatest of ballads, the hero and the maid, was not recovered. This song above all the others must be found.
Wait a minute.
You have acted as our agent thus far, Sagril. Do you continue to stand by us? With all our heroes gone,
that was very quick.
You may well be our last light in the darkness.
But dude, no one knows your tale. No one but a very, 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 very select few of secret boys in the shadows know your fucking tale. Right? That's a thing with Halam the White. Or I don't know if you're the original Halam the White. I don't know if you're an actor. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But no one knows anything about you. On top of that, you keep disappearing, or at least you disappeared once at a very paramount time when the entire world went to shit. Am I the only one who doesn't trust this boy in the slightest? Also, you've got a lisp, and I kind of just want you dead anyway, because you are grating on my lobes. My poor ears can't handle anymore. What is the hero and the maid?
In that ballad, King Wenson defeats the maid of Windermere, once and for all. He confesses his
Wait, I thought the queen did it.
Trick her into an embrace. It is close enough for him to strike. If
that's so mean.
Altering our ballads towards more favorable outcomes for her and her minions, then she could rewrite her own demise. She could avoid it altogether.
Imagine falling for that every single time it gets retold. Oh, you poor little bitch. I'm so sorry. I don't blame her for wanting to rewrite this. Her life is hell. That is like the ultimate cock block. Except she doesn't have a cock. I mean, she very much could. I'm not judging there. But what's the female equivalent for cock block? Vag... Cage? It doesn't rhyme at all, but that's about the best you're gonna get out of my sick, sick, sick little mind. And I don't mean because I'm an absolute psychopath, although clearly I am. I mean because I'm genuinely sick as shit right now. Tell me about the fake hands, and we're going to move on from Vag Cage as if nothing ever happened. Fucking hell, that's a horrible image.
You are no stranger
it's
to
either a
death,
cage made of vag, or a cage for vages.
The fall of all magic. I have foreseen it for seasons.
Or perhaps a cage made of vages for vages.
I chose to act. With a small group of dedicated individuals, fey and mortal alike, I set about preparing a way for the great songs of the summer court to find permanence.
Except they can never, ever, ever be listened to.
This effort. They are magic, but magic that will not fade.
Like 3 people now to break the seals, and they're going to be dead soon. This isn't a good... I don't trust you in the slightest, man. What are you leading me towards? Look at your giant, thick-ass, vored-up shoulders. What is that about? Why are you inflating? Every time I look at you, I just find another reason to despise you to all hell. And he's ginger! Shit, I'm kidding. What's next?
I knew I could count on you. In the face of uncertainty, your loyalty has proven steadfast.
I become more disturbed by his gingerness than his black and red eyes.
When we do not understand her new magic, there is only one man I know who might shed light on our ignorance. His name is Father Eter.
Oh, no
He is
way!
a monk and an alchemist, and a trusted friend. Eter may have the answers we seek.
I'd say I know him very well. I don't, but I stole his most valued fucking possession and the entire fucking basis of his religion about 5 minutes ago. I don't think he likes me very much. I better get there quick before he notices what I've done. But I love how he's got those demonic-ass eyes. There is literally some kind of ancient hellish force living within his retinas, and it's his gingerness that scared me the most. God damn it. The hero and the maid? Why can't I ask it again?
It is the foundation of our great inheritance. The canon of stories celebrated by all the Summer Fae. In it begins our timeless struggle with the Maid of Windermere. Driven mad by our love for King Wenson, the maid finally ensnares him with a spell of longing and retreats to her castle. There she waits to consummate the union.
It's just a good old-fashioned roofing.
Wenson fights the enchantment, inspired by his ardor for Belmaid, his true beloved. Taking the maid in his embrace, he slays her once and for all.
Yeah, he may have. But you can't tell me he didn't get a semi before it. Not from the murder. That would be very worrying. That's not a man you want ruling over your kingdom. Or maybe it is. I'm not here to judge, but that's a bad thing. Jesus Christ, let's move on before I get myself a deeper hole.
The
Fake
creation
ass.
of a new form of magic, a permanent magic, was a necessity for our kind. The rise of the mortal races coincides with our decline. Lore stones are a faulty method of remembrance, one that can be changed, destroyed. But the Kerns, they are invulnerable to harm. They are forever.
Why? They're just lore stones but round and way more useless. I'm pretty sure I could break one if I wanted to. The amount... I brought down a god! Are you telling me these little fucking meatballs are more powerful than Athene's champion himself? Well, not sure. Was he a champion? He had, like, godlike power, okay? He's something. He's a big boy made of stone. This is just a little ball made of stone. What do you think's cooler? Father Eter. Father Eter is not cooler, but still.
I have known Eter for 40 seasons. He believes
So what's that,
in
10
his
years?
God's order, and I have learned to respect his beliefs. Aside from being a follower of Mitharu, Eter is the most skilled alchemist I have ever known. His
wonder how many
wise
seasons
gaze
I've lived.
peers even deeper into the mysteries of life than mine.
Must be like 80-something now. It's not as many as you'd expect, is it? When you look back, it's like, oh, I've only lived that many months, or I've only lived that many seasons. Fucking hell, life is terrifying. Where is Father
Eter watches over a small Almain.
Yes, I am right.
Southeast, St. Edric's. You will know it by the runes on the hill.
I knew I recognized the dude's name when I got there, but I was like, it must be a different guy. Because this dude is so boring, there's no way he's a part of a Fey tale. Or at least, gonna be important to the House of Ballads, but no, he absolutely is for some reason. Also, why did the House of Ballads let Aelin inside?
I assure you it's an ancient
I mean, they let
codex,
me inside,
just
to be
like
fair,
the
but still.
tales.
Intriguing.
I'm the
Why would
Fateless One.
such a
I'm the
thing be
protagonist, they
revealed
have
to a
to.
child of dust? You have done well, mortal.
I don't care. You interrupted the actually interesting people's conversations, you bastard. I don't care about you. Wait, who am I talking to? Who are you talking to? Oh, or whatever the fuck. I forgot about you. Are you just What are you sitting in? What the fuck is that? Okay, you're just... Okay. It's just like your little kiosk that for some reason you have, but no one else in the entire fucking world of the Fae has decided to build. Whatever. Are you gonna have anything new to say? I mean, I am very, very, very important in your order now, but fuck it. I want to know more about Aelin. We've never just got a chance to sit down and talk to her and her alone before.
I'm beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Glynor, Lawmaster of the House of Ballads. Give the Codex over to him, and he may have your answers.
Or, that could be a terrible fucking idea. Wow, we've got a lot to talk about. Okay, well, let's start with... Who the fuck are you?
I'm a woman of many talents.
Clearly.
I'm all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right?
That's where you're leaving it? You're so mysterious, so very generically mysterious, but I'm still here for it. I am a sucker for cool elves. Codex of Fate.
The Codex of Fate is no simple lawstone. It's more subtle and complex than any mortal could comprehend. But a lawmaster of ballads may be able to interpret it.
This guy isn't the lawmaster. That would be Hallam the White. This guy might be, you know, a smart boy. He might have the biggest of the big brains, but why the fuck would he know anything about this? No one knows anything about the Fateless. That's the entire point. Dokkalfar. I need to know more about my own race, please. I don't even know who I am. Why am I so grey?
The charmed, the subtle, and the inspired. In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for
we like
decades,
being sneaky and naked instead,
have been
huh?
at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms.
So I guess maybe this war with the Tuatha, with both elf races, because it's also the Almain, right? And from what I'm gonna Google it, because I want to be sure about this once and fucking for all, because it's really annoying me, but Almain, Kingdoms of Amalur. I believe they're the blue elves. No, they're humans. Okay, never mind. I was gonna be like, it seems to me like this game is setting up potentially the dissension of the elves, and like the human race is taking over, like in every fantasy setting ever, where it's like, oh, the elves are being oppressed, and blah, 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 blah. Lord of the Rings is like the only one I can think of where the elves are arguably more powerful than the humans and everything, or at least all kingdoms are equal in their own weird-ass ways. I'm not too deep on the Lord of the Rings lore. I used to absolutely love it when I was younger, but I'm very rusty, so I could be totally wrong about that. But that's what it seems like to me.
For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence.
Fate itself.
A friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be.
You have friends?
Fate might be
Damn, wish I had friends.
But if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing.
Thought that was a Dokkalfar thing. Thought everyone just despised us on sight. Gadflow.
None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price.
Wonder where we came from. Wonder if that's ever going to be explained. Like, because obviously, dominant races appear in an area because they have adapted to their surroundings, right? They become the dominant race because they evolved the best to their particular environment, and their brains did the big grow and everything. So why, obviously we didn't all come from the same place. Pretty much well, I've only ever seen Earth, you know, which I'm pretty sure literally everyone else in the entire world has. But in our world, we're the dominant race because we were smarter and everything. I don't know what if there were like two humanoid races coming up at the same time, but then again, I mean, we had the Neanderthals and shitloads of other early human fucking prototypes, and we beat the shit out of them. Like, it does seem like only one dominant race ever really shows up. So, the elves came from somewhere totally different. The dark elves came from somewhere totally different. The Varani came from a different place than the Almain, you know, so where are all these other continents? This place was so ripe for exploration. The homelands of all these different fucking races. It could have been so cool. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for this franchise to come back. In modern technology as well, I want to know what it would look like. Glynor. Who the fuck's that? Oh, that's the dude we're talking to, I
Lionel's
forgot.
one of the greatest balladeers amongst the Fae, and the most learned lawmaster you'll find outside of Issa. And as it happens...
Balladeer, what a word.
favor.
Ah, perfect. I'm not gonna ask what you had to do to make that happen, but whatever. Had to did. That's the state my brain is in right now. House of
They want
Ballads.
a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them time and again.
I have noticed. In case you haven't noticed, I am literally a Fae now for some reason. I have been Sagril for quite some time, and I am their only remaining hero. I like how this dude is perfectly willing to help us, despite the fact their king and queen and everyone else important is very much dead right now. Let's just gloss over that and let's have a lovely little talk with him. But not until we've done all of this. Tell me about the Summer Court.
Or the Seelie Fae if you prefer. Embody
Oh
the
shit, they've got an
energy
actual
of
name.
nature. But they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court.
Knew that
While
was another
Garthla
boy.
has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance.
You mean Titarian is trying to keep the winter shit going while the winter arseholes are being arseholes? Interesting. I kind of really like that. I knew Wenson was not the official king. I knew I'd heard another name. I just couldn't remember why, and I thought I was going insane, but there you go. You have backed me up, and you make me feel a little bit less schizophrenic. Thanks, go. Tell me about the war.
Haven't been around much, have you? The
I'm a
Tuatha
broken
have been
man.
pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races.
Oh. Why did I think the Almain were the ones getting mostly fucked? I guess it's the Dokkalfar who've been fighting the hardest, and you know what? I'm not surprised. Look how cool we are. We just look like we're the absolute greatest warriors of all time. Plus, I guess we're just kind of in their way. I guess we're more up north or something, because they're coming from the north, right? If I remember correctly? Or is it the south? I don't know. They are coming from a direction. I guess that's where we live too. Titarian.
Titarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer. But he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, Titarian has become distant and melancholy,
Aww.
and blind to the dangers around him.
My poor boy. I didn't realize Faye had emotion, or at least on a similar level that we do. The boy's sad and pondering, huh? Or maybe it's just these guys who sort of have to get in the roles of, because this is like the most Fae we've ever seen, right? The House of Ballads. And they have to get in the role, because they're just really hardcore, pretty much time-traveling magical method actors. And that's the only real thing that they are. So it makes sense that they would not act in any kind of way similar to what straight up regular Fae would, right? Or regular Summer Court Fae, anyway.
The
Tuatha.
Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw...
Oh, so they're in
to
power, but
enhance
they're
their
not really
power,
like the
and
entirety
their
of the Winter
devotion
Court.
borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely.
But I mean, they were always a different race, and they acted very different, as I'm sure you're about to tell me when I ask you about the Winter Court, right?
The Unseelie.
Oh,
a
they're
race
just
of
called the
destruction and
Unseelie?
decay
That
of
is
nature.
stupid.
They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally, they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability.
How, like, I know when you're called the Fae, you sound cool. But how the fuck did Seelie and Unseelie get greenlit? We have mortal races called the Almain. Not Ravani, that's from Dragon Age. The fucking Viking people. Dokkalfar. And the other one. But Unseelie. You sound like something from a terrible, one of those weird-ass psychedelic kid shows you on the early 2000s, like In the Night Garden or something. I hate that. No Yank is gonna know what that means. But to my British brethren, Yeah, that shit was horrible. It was way after my time, but like my cousin was watching it or something. That drove me insane. What the fuck do they think children want? Children are not absolute mushroom addicts. Alright, this Fae can help. This Fae can help me.
Master Glional has devoted centuries to the study of lore and ancient Fae stories. The codex you found isn't just any lore stone. Just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue.
Alright then. I mean, it told me to talk to you first, so that's why I did the thing. Why? Because the only reason I came to you was like, hey, you're finally here. Talk to the guy right next to me. I could have just spoke to the guy right next to you from the beginning. Or, you know, had a three-way conversation like other games? I don't know why that isn't a thing in this one. At least I don't really remember it happening a whole lot. Maybe only in cutscenes where we don't have, like, the big box of choices? Where we have, like, the wheel instead? Yeah.
We've known for a long time that Prismere crystals allow us to store and focus magical power.
Haven't said it yet, but I'll say it after this.
Use it in their grander inventions when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's real great. Yeah, I really like the mix of sort of silent protagonist shit, because silent protagonist in a game where you're a blank slate, I prefer. Voice protagonist in a game where you sort of have a bit of a defined backstory and personality, for example, The Witcher, for example, Geralt, I absolutely prefer. So there's two different... I do like a silent protagonist in certain situations, like a voice one in others. So that's a thing. But I really like this combination of, like, the old school RPG, shitloads of options being chosen, and then also the BioWare style sort of conversation wheel, which is more limiting, but it definitely has its place sometimes. It's a really nice middle ground that I'm surprised not more devs have really delved into, and I'm not really sure why. Because Kingdoms of Amalur have done it very well. What I find kind of sad, though, is this is pretty much just a question. It's good to have, and I'm glad it's here, but I kind of wish you could have, like, the... You know, Baldur's Gate or Dragon Age Origins is like probably the most recent one with a star that I can think of right now, where it's like all your choices come in this form as well, and there are like up to about 12 different choices you can make in each situation. I missed that, but then again, it's their first ever project, their first and only ever project, so it's hardly surprising they couldn't do like a game with all that much choices impact. Well, I guess there is a lot of choice impact, but there aren't 40,000 choices for each single decision. Which I totally understand.
You must be Lady Shear's friend. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see.
I mean, I am being recorded, aren't I? I'm the new Sagril. I guess they never ever need to record it again, because they're always meant to go the exact same way. But haven't I killed Nyx, Bloody Bones, the Thresh thing whose name I forgot? Aren't they all dead forever? I think they may be. I've kind of ruined all your lovely little bedtime stories. I'm sorry. Can you interpret this? What are you implying? Let the Fae love me. It's fine.
The fabled Codex of Destiny. When the Fate Weavers formed their order, our High King gave his own wisdom to assist them. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift. But why did it reveal itself to you?
Because I have no fate.
Nonsense. All children of dust have a story that is written before you see your first dawn. Now,
You imply then that the Fae don't.
But this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much.
Wait!
The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom.
The High King is clearly as much of an idiot as me, but for fuck's sake, so the Fateless One doesn't have a fate, but fate fucking accounted for him. Or is maybe it just the prediction of the end of all fate? I don't know, because if it's the end of all fate, then I am so very down for ruining the entire world. But if it's just like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, but he's just like one guy, we'll be fine, then I am gonna be so mad. I assure you, it's real.
Sure you think it is? I fear you must have been taken in by a forgery. A perfectly created one, perhaps, but a forgery nonetheless. But this codex speaks of impossible things, changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be I'm sorry, but
That's
I must
why he's
ask
such
you
an
to
emo
take it
little
away.
bitch
I
boy
will
now.
have no part in these lies.
Oh, you better not kick me out of the Hall of Ballads. I love this place. Also, this is the first time that a main character who's meant to be on our side has had any form of like, oh fuck, what are you kind of reaction. And I like that. I want to be a bit more of an outcast. I feel like I should be because of all this. I can definitely do good things. I can definitely get on your good side. But people should be rejecting of this. And I'm glad the game's finally sort of taken that on board.
He's an offense
Gadflow.
to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war breaks the cycle. I will speak no more of him.
But I mean, the cycle continues because you guys couldn't give less of a fuck about the war. What are you talking about? Are you sure the codex is
There's a
fake?
meaning to it. Only its author could tell you.
You're sending me to the fucking king?
Don't bother me with such foolishness again.
In the most mundane possible way. It's like, oh, yeah, go speak to the author. He just so happens to be the most important person in our entire fucking culture, and he's lived for like 40 fucking billion years. Yeah, go see him, and it'll be fine.
Lionel Spencer's
Why are you
life
just
cherishing
walking away
old
from me?
stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic.
Unsurprising. What do we do now?
Well, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex. The High King himself.
I've met like 5 Fae before, and we're immediately graduating to like the Fae, the coolest boy of all goddamn time, and maybe the most powerful living being we'll ever come across. I'm in love. I can't wait for this. Yes, fucking please. Not another Fae. How am I supposed to meet him?
Difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very
Oh, that's
few
not very
mortals are
far.
permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone.
Why alone?
Niralim is a private person, and he carries a grudge against me. Although perhaps person isn't the right word for him, nor is him. You'll find him.
What the
in
fuck have you
southeast
done?
Galantoth, at Caer Niralim. Just head towards the giant tree, and, well, you'll see.
How in fuck did you manage to piss off Yggdrasil? What have you done to the world tree? You are talking about the tree, right? Not something that's just sort of hanging out inside of the tree. Because if it's just a fucking squirrel, that's fine. I piss off squirrels every single day. I'm a monster. But the tree itself? How are you not pissing yourself at the fucking prospect of a tree, a giant fucking tree who controls the entire world and the will of the High King? You've pissed him off, and he's very willing to kill you. This is a bad thing. Maybe scream a little.
Niralim is the oldest living mortal. He
Oh,
remembers the
interesting.
time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His
He's
tendency,
definitely
he
a
knows
tree.
the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says.
So he's the original Fate Weaver? And he's just this wooden little birch? Well, little birch. There you go, we can leave it at that. Interesting. What the fuck? Why aren't all trees fucking sentient? Is he the only one? Is he blessed with some kind of fucking... Maybe he brought the Fae into existence. I'm very excited. I don't know why I keep fucking speculating instead of just going to see it. I'm sure it's not that hard to do, but whatever. Glionel.
Coward. He may have lived 100 heroic lives, but he's lost the moment he faces something truly new. Pathetic.
That one is. Maybe all the other Glionels wouldn't have been. It's not like they ever take on the exact same personality, right? Because, I mean, the current King Wenson hates King Wenson. I don't think all of them were just fucking self-deprecating assholes. Codex of Fate.
Codex isn't just a complicated lore stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Titarian himself, no less. Interesting.
Can't I jam it in an Echo Stone and actually just listen to it? I want to know what the fuck's going on. He gave us a few details, but it's just sort of about me. It's just the shit we already know. He must have kept something to himself if it disturbed him that bad.
You'll have to
Let's
make it
go.
on your own. I'd accompany you. But
Yeah,
Niralim and
you've
I
said.
have
I don't need to hear that again.
And ignore
Fine.
anything he says about me.
I'm absolutely not gonna do that. Me and fucking Niralim, we're gonna be the most gossipy little bitches of all time, and I cannot wait. Alright.